Hello everyone to pros and cons for the demo of the video game Toymaker Threads of Joy. Didn't really give me much joy, to be honest. There's just some things that kinks that need to be worked out. I was going to sit on the title screen here for about 15 seconds to just listen to the intro music, but in the settings, the music volume and sound effects volume is middle ground, and I can't hear anything. So the middle volume is basically nothing to listen to. I mean, yeah, I can turn the volume all the way up on both of those. It wouldn't be a problem, but really? Middle ground and I can't hear anything? Come on. I was playing it on my speakers though, so maybe that was the issue, but I can hear other stuff just fine. But I don't know. In the settings as well, you have the language option and resolution as well as full screen. And then when you start a new game, you have 3 empty slots. So if you want to play this 3 different times, or yeah, I guess you would have to play it 3 different times to take up all these slots. So maybe if you want to play it and if another family member wants to play it, this would be good. There won't be any voice acting during the demo, and that's fine. However, at the start, this text does go by on its own. So if you're a slow reader, it might vanish on you. It doesn't run out too quickly. The text right here kind of messes up with the top being a little too close to the next paragraph sentence. That's a me thing. Like, it needs to be evened out. Like, everything else is evened out. Why isn't this one? Also, the amount of ellipses kills me. I think they're going for like dramatic, but that's not being dramatic. That's just liking periods a little too much. Los soñadores, against your own wishes, will dream again. So do we not want to be here then? That's what I get from this sentence. And here's your little crafting station. We get the tutorial. The first thing we have to do before we craft our first plushie is to choose a fabric. And the first fabrics we get are 1 stars. So you can kind of see that above the gold 5 number. And if you click the arrows either to the left or right of that star, you'll go into the better qualities, the 2 star, 3 star, then 4 star. So we're working with the poorest quality at the start of the game. And in the book, there's an index of the types of patterns you can choose from. The tabs up top are a convenient way to move around, but you can also click the arrows to flip the pages. Sometimes the text is a little odd in its instructions. So it says look for the animal body pattern and drag it onto the fabric. Well, the animal body is right there in the index. So I'm like, I think I'm clicking on the animal body and trying to drag it over, but it doesn't work like that. You have to click animal body, and then it'll take you to the pattern. But again, I was trying to grab the image below animal body text, which is what the plushie is supposed to look like, and drag it onto the pattern. No, you don't do that either. The pattern on the right is what you're going to click and drag onto the fabric. At least the scissors part is easy enough. You just click on the scissors and you'll have a little hand icon. Put the hand icon to where the little circles are that you need to cut. And that's that. So I always get 3 stars on the scissors because it's that easy to do. Oh my god, when it comes to the sewing machine, listen. I'm not a sewer. I actually did sew animal patterns in school. I don't even know what grade I was in. Like if I was in my the school I went for digital art, or if it was just like 6th grade or 7th grade or 8th grade, something like that. I don't know. We had a crafting classroom though. It was fun. We didn't have like a sewing machine. We had to do it threading by hand. So basically, upper part of the sewing machine, on the right, you have a speed 3, 2, 1, or a 0. I never chose 0. I feel like 0 would not move at all. And then you can either click on the where's the space to start sewing, or click space itself on the keyboard. This is where the game kind of fails for me. You rotate the pattern, drag it by mouse or AD keys. AD keys is a lot more easier for me to do. However, I am directionally challenged. So when I want to go one way, I click the wrong key and end up going the other way. That's just me. It's how I am. Will never change. I don't know why. But even with the mouse, if I click to drag it and the mouse is too close to the sewing portion, the pattern won't move. So it confused the snot out of me because I was trying to move my mouse cursor around to rotate the pattern, but it doesn't move if you're too close to the sewing head. You have to actually make your mouse outside the border in order to move it around properly. This part really needs a lot of work, in my opinion. It's not smooth at all. It's the number one mechanic that you're going to use, and it's the worst one, in my opinion. I love how I got a 2-star rating, and it says beautiful. The plushie's coming to life. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, game. Give me that good old thumbs up. So now you need to put stuffing in there, so you drag from the stuffing to the toy over and over again until it, like, I think it'll sparkle when you're good. But also there's a tooltip that you can't see here that will show a rating for different elements. So the stuffing element, if it's good where it's at, it'll be 5-star rating. And then if you keep putting more stuffing in there, the rating will drop until the toy breaks. Ah, there's a little icon. The tooltip. So we're at 5-star. 5-star stuffing. You can't get any more than 3 stars for the scissors as far as the demo goes, I don't believe. I did not finish this demo. It's... the customers ticked me off. I'm not gonna lie. I got so mad at the customers. This isn't what I want. Yeah, well, throw the toy in your face and get out of here. I don't do well with customer service. Even in video games, I don't do well with customer service. So when we have the finished plushie body, just drag it into the drawer. At which point now we are going to craft one of the animal heads. So technically we have dragon, otter, and yeah, dragon, otter to do the heads for, because the other one, the cutie berry, is something entirely different. This is me forgetting that I need to drag out the cloth first, the fabric, because you can't put a pattern down without fabric. I do get a little bit better at the sewing portion, but really it's too janky for me to like. But hey, 4 stars. I haven't got a 5-star, so I don't know if you can't surpass 4 stars, which is odd because excellent quality would be 5. No, you can get 5 stars because on the tooltip it shows that one of the stars is not filled in, so you can get 5 stars. Yes, I'd have to go at 0 pace in order to do an amazing job at sewing, if that's the case. But with my first freaking piece of crap stuffed body, I'm pretty okay with the 4 stars. And now we can enter the briefcase to assemble different parts of our plushies. This tutorial just shows us how to place it all together. You sew it on, at least the head and the body, and then put it into the drawer and go to your shop. The shop is fairly simplistic, which I like. You have a close sign, you need to open it for customers to start rushing in. It doesn't look like there is a time limit on anything, which is really nice. That makes it a bit more of a relaxing game. When you sell a plushie on the cash register, it does show you the star level of the plushie as well as a suggested price. You can go over the suggested price and they'll still pay as long as you don't like increase it astronomically. But I usually go like 1 or 2 cents over and they're good with it. I was a little confused though, because when I clicked the green to sell it like that, all he said was, these are all my summer savings, so I wasn't sure if he was okay with the price. And it turns out you have to click the green lever, or red if you so choose, and they'll say something, whether they like the price or not, and then you have to click sell. So it's a 2-step process. The lever, and then sell. I don't think I like that we have a tag that shows the star level on it. Like, we're telling the customer this is a crappy one. Should we do that as a business? When you do sell, you get money, of course, reputation. I don't know what the heart and thread is. See, it says we've earned reputation and experience, but those are just 2 of the icons we got. It doesn't tell us about the heart and thread. And I don't mind that they use these kind of silhouettes for customers. Not every customer needs to go have like in-depth detail to them. They're just coming up here to pick something out. And quite frankly, it kind of gets annoying seeing the same model for customer over and over again. If they weren't shown like this. Like the same child kept coming up to the window, like, come on. So now this guy wants a special plushie called Cutie Berry. And we can remind ourselves what we need to do by the taskbar in the upper left. I kind of like special plushies because they're just one. You don't put together 2 pieces. Unlike the human plushies and animal plushies. And plus, I like the Cutie Berry because it's a simple design. Even on the simple design, I still only get 4 stars. I feel like that's so terrible. It's really nitpicky with those 5 stars. Like, you have to be exactly on the line the whole time. So while the Cutie Berry is done, technically, we can take it out of the drawer and put some cosmetics on it if we so choose. Which is interesting to me. And you kind of can move around the cosmetics as well. So that's plus. They don't just stay on there like the red wig does, which looks terrible, by the way. As is. I wanted to try on different things. Like, I really like the white wavy hair. I was trying to see if the red would be good with this. And it is, you just have to like, I don't know, mess with it a little bit to make it work. I thought the Cutie Berry looked pretty good with red hair, you know? Although the way he says this is a real bargain makes me think maybe I should have cranked up the price a bit more. I feel like I undersold myself there. And then we get our first letter. Footsteps in darkness. And that's your whole world now. A hooded figure leads the way, her steps echoing the pitch-dark cave. She carries a crozier. I don't know what a crozier is, or even if I said that right. Crozier? Whenever you come to a new set of stairs carved into the rock, you hear it. 1 strike of the crozier means down, 2 means up. You've lost all sense of time and space. Perhaps this has always been the real reality. An endless darkness heading who knows where. But suddenly, a door. A warm, reddish gold gleam filters through the narrow cracks of its frame and opens, and you are there. What happened to this being just us working a toy shop? We get a random letter, and we just go down this deep, dark passage. Seems a little odd. Also, there are hooded figures down here sewing. Is this not creepy as heck? So what made me come to a dark cave in the middle of the night to answer the call of a stranger? Honestly, stupidity. I said curiosity because, I mean, yeah, you're gonna be curious about it, but halfway down, not even halfway down, I think a couple steps down into darkness where I don't know where I'm going. I don't know who sent me a letter. I think I would just like back it up. Back up, go back to my shop, go back to bed, in fact. Of course, this guy doesn't have a name, he's just called the Master. He's apparently one pupil short, as the last didn't pass the Covenant test? Because the game wants me to, of course. I say I'm interested. And now we're his people. He does supply us with materials from now on, but the thing is, he stated in the studio I craft with the help of my pupils the most wondrous toys you'll ever see. However, the materials he supplies us with, the fabric and the stuffing, is the lowest material rated. How is he making these grand toys and just giving us the worst of the worst product in return for us being his people? I get that we can use the stuff at the beginning to accumulate more money gradually, but it's still annoying. We get another letter. This time a grand market opening. And we do have a map. Mon ami, mein lieber Freund, meu querido amigo, watashi no shinanaru yujin? I didn't know what she said. I thought this was all one language, but in her next comment, I could say it to you in a dozen other languages if you'd like. Makes me think every single statement is a different language. And I don't know why it's all separated by commas. I feel like separate languages should be full stops. Mon ami, mein lieber Freund, meu querido amigo. Like, if these are different languages, full stops. Otherwise, it's going to make us think it's all one language, and it's not, according to her next statement. I really didn't want to listen to more of her crap, so I just said that's quite a speech. Also, I can't see a woman like her saying bombastic. She's the person we go to in order to buy supplies. Well, better supplies than what we have. I really liked that leaf hat, mind you. So I bought it. Probably shouldn't have, because I think material is a lot better than a cosmetic, like a hat, but it is what it is. I didn't know what else to do here. I was kind of confused, like, okay, how do I leave? What do I do next? The game's not telling me anything, but you go back to the map and go back to your workshop. So yeah, so we have an endless supply of products, materials, but they're 1 star. So at this point, I just wanted to kind of make some bodies ready. But maybe it's not the wisest, well, I was gonna say it's not the wisest choice, but I could just place them up in the shop window for someone to look at if they wanted to buy it. As long as I did the heads to them, but I only did the bodies thinking, oh, I'll prepare these in case I need them for later, but there's just too many colors that people would want for that to really work. And now we get our first unique customer. I hate when people ask, like, obvious questions. It makes me want to be like 1 + 1 = 2. Like, figure it out. If my sign says Los Soñadores, then it's probably Los Soñadores, yes. If it says coffee shop at the top, then yeah, they probably sell coffee. Like, why are people going in there and asking, do you sell coffee? Hello? So, you know, as a brat, I say, that's what the sign says. I feel like she's flirting with me too with this text. So she wants a dragon plushie, and she says she wants to match the color of her eyes. I'm leaning into the screen thinking, how the hell am I supposed to figure out what your eye color is? I thought it was teal, like the way she dresses. Kind of, not really. There is a codex where we learn about people, certain customers that come in, I guess. For the toy, it says she has deep green eyes. So I was a little right with the teal, but it's green. And then we just hand her the dragon, put it up for sale. I accidentally clicked the 9, which made it to 0. I was really debating on like putting it at 15 or so, but I didn't. I was just like, screw it. Does she look like she'd belong into an opera, by the way? So this person wants a dragon with the best materials and stitching. I don't know if that means they want a 5-star plushie. So I went to the shop and I got premium stuffing, as well as some great quality, because they do want dragon with great quality. This is the part where I was a little confused on how to get to the great quality, but again, with the arrows by the star rating is where you'll find it. So it's a 4-star. So there is 5-star. There's 5-star fabric. I thought I did pretty darn good with this dragon. It's got 3.5 stars to it. I did the premium stuffing. I did the great material. He doesn't like it. Give me the one I want. This one is lame. Dragon with great quality. I'm confused on what he actually wants here. Like, I don't know if he wants a 4-star rated plushie. I just kept trying to give it to I didn't know. This was the first confusing customer I had. I think it needs to be more on point with what a customer wants. Or at least give us a tutorial on what great quality would be to a customer. As it stands, I did mostly the best quality that I could, that I had on hand, and he didn't want them. So it's like you have to be on the nose with what they want. And this person wants to have a toy of the best quality, which makes me think a 5-star rated plushie. Why am I getting these customers at the start of a game where I don't even have the money to give them what they want with excellent material? It's confusing to me when games do this. They just randomize customers even at the start, like, oh, this customer wants the best of the best, something that you won't be able to do. So you'll have to tell them to go away and you'll have to lose reputation for it. Which I just realized is what the heart and needle is. It's your reputation. For some reason, I thought reputation was the teal. And then this place shows up. I don't know if... Are we in a fever dream now? This game jumps. It just jumps around. I suppose I am in a dream. I did click end day, and then it brought me here. Though it's weird, you know, just working in a toy shop, getting a letter from someone we don't even know. We don't know why we got it. We just went down this creepy staircase into the depths where there are robed figures working on plushies. And a dude we just sold our soul to in order to get an infinite amount of materials. And then this happens. It's like, what is going on? Well, I was just making plushies. Don't get me wrong. I love a good storyline, but this one is just like leapfrogging. Although when I saw this lady, I thought like, this has to be a goddess of some sort, right? She looks like a goddess. And then she states, thou hast no mighty sandals of Hermes, only the waxy wings of Icarus. And we all know how the ordeal ended. So she is talking about the gods. And I at first maybe thought that she was one of the fates. She remembers feats of the past, the cunning of Odysseus with his wooden horse, how Oedipus gouged out his own eyes in despair, Alcaeus, who I don't know that name. I know Oedipus's name, but I don't know that backstory either. So she remembers shadows of her own family, 9 they were, so that means she's not one of the fates. Then she asked, "Tell me, child, hast thou received the temptation of an odd one? A master of 3 joy smiths such as thee." 3, okay. Fates again? Every time I'm thinking this is a game based around some kind of mythology. It seems like, just from this interaction. So is she talking about fates here? 3 joy smiths? I might just be grasping at something that's not right. Now we can travel to Salamanca Sky, which... Sure, let's drop what we're doing. Let's stop making plushies, stop making a living, and go to all these places. But this is an interesting place because when you click on the mural, this is actually kind of not really a talent tree. As you get more points, you can buy more patterns. So there's a good lot of patterns that you can get. For now, we're unlocking a human body as well as a coat doll. And I didn't just want to do that. I went to the special plushies, and I unlocked Cube Bear. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm so sorry. This is what happens when I don't write out a script to read. I talk to this person first, and I tell him Trallara, because that sounds a whole heck of a lot better than Trallaree or Trallaro. And he's shown something on his guitar. Unfortunately, I don't think it's in the soundtrack, so you'll just have to use your imagination on that one. But yeah, I go back into this mural and I get the cube bear as well as the shell and eagle. And that's all I can do because I only have 20 points left. Game states we can now craft dolls. To do so, you need the human body and clothes. In order to craft a suit for a doll, you will only need to cut it. You'll need to use the sewing machine. After cutting it, you can send them to the drawer. Now, the one thing I don't like here is that there are now 2 animal bodies that we can pick from. And I don't like this concept because I don't know if specific animal bodies will have to go to specific headpieces for animals. Because it doesn't show anything about that. And it's a little annoying not knowing. Like, are these both bodies we can use for any headpiece? Or are they specific? I just went back to the counter, opened the shop, where we got our next main character customer? Side character customer? I feel like these people are hitting on me. With the things they say. Do you have a magic potion that keeps you looking that good? No. What? So his son, he just wants to get a toy for his son. A dragon elephant, something big the kids like. So we have freedom to choose what we kind of want. He can't spend a whole lot of money, so that's why he's coming to our shop. We're kind of cheap, and that's fine. We can go into request to check it out for more information. Okay, this kid right here, he ticked me off. Wanted to order a fat cream otter. You can overstuff the plushies a little bit. If you do too much, they tear and they break and they're not good. Well, I overstuffed this plushie. First the head. The head's nice and fat. I don't know if I could have done it like one step further because it's still at 3 stars. For the stuffing. But I went through so many body pieces to make them fat and them breaking on me. I made one the fattest I could and gave it to the kid. And it's not the one he wants. So I'm checking it out. Cream otter, fat. I go back into my workshop. I try to do the thing that he wants. Again, I'm breaking bodies of plushies and stuff for this kid. Nope, nothing works. So he went away in a huff. I couldn't figure it out. Then we get this lady who wants a fat plush, so I give her the item, and she don't want it either. What am I missing here? Like, looking back at this footage, maybe it's because I could have stuffed the head once more. I tried going into the shop to look, maybe it's the premium that they want, so I did some plushies with premium, bloated them up, broke them even, and I was just done. I was done at that point. We get customers saying they want fat plushies. I give them plushies full of stuffing and they don't want it, so I don't know what the game wants. The game needs to be a little bit more clear on what these people are asking for. It needs a better tutorial or something like that. But yeah, I did not finish this demo. I got too frustrated. I got frustrated with the sewing portion. I got frustrated with the customers. Aside from that, I do like the idea of all the different plushies that we can do and the ones that we can buy. But there's just too many problems for me. Unfortunately, 2-star rating.